Hello and welcome to LinkedIn Live, my final one of 2024. Happy holidays for those that are starting to celebrate their holidays and maybe taking some time off work. I'm glad you can be here for those that can be here. This is more of just a happy holidays, gratitude reflection, LinkedIn Live versus the other ones that I've been doing over the past few weeks on generative artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence in general. This is real Garth, not Avatar Garth. He wanted to be here to say happy holidays, but I said, you know what, we'll wait until next year, until you're a little bit more refined, and then we can bring you back out for more emotional, compassionate things such as a happy holidays, end of the year reflections. And he's getting there. He's getting there. I like Avatar Garth. He's got a little attitude, but other than that, he's fantastic. So I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays as we're approaching the end of 2023. Time moves very quickly nowadays, and with all the things that are happening in the world, it's a lot to take in. And I just wanted to focus sort of on Sharif Consulting and myself, and also send along my gratitude to all of the individuals and organizations that I work with during 2023, and I'm very grateful for the relationships that I have working with organizations and individuals for their continuing education and providing their learning needs, and also working with a lot of great people. I'm very happy that part of my network is has been working with very generous, sometimes patient and very kind individuals, and that's always something, you can think about your workspace and all the individuals that potentially are causing you heartache and stress and conflict, and there are going to be those. There are those individuals in my life, and I might be one of those individuals. Most likely, I should remove the word "might." Probably am for a few people out there. Myself, just the way we are, the workspace. Sometimes we get along, sometimes we don't, and there are always things we can do to maybe make the relationship better. But this was really around gratitude, and the way I wanted to look at this is just first I wanted to thank my internal team, which I'll put links on LinkedIn just for anyone that needs individuals in these spaces, because they're awesome. A lot of what I do is instructional design, video production, webinar delivery, but part of this is you see the end product, the delivery part, but there's a lot behind the scenes, and very much like a film production or a theater play. It's just not one person putting these on, and I want to give those individuals a lot of credit. They're amazing to work with. First off, I'd like to thank Kimberly Fields, who I met early part of 2023, and she's an instructional designer, amazing individual, just very creative, very detailed oriented, and she's really um, helped my growth on instructional design, which is different than delivery. And I have been speaking about instructional design for a lot of years. She specializes in that, in terms of looking at learning objectives, understanding how things map across in terms of a self-study or on-demand program or a webinar, helping me to put together live courses. So Kimberly has been amazing, and I want to send out my thanks. I don't know if she's be watching. I don't think she's as active on LinkedIn, but I just want to send along my thanks to all of the work that she did for Sharif Consulting and myself in terms of my learning and growth this year. Next, I'd like to thank Brittany Dean. She's my administrative assistant, and she's amazing. She works a lot. She's very busy, and I always I'm very thankful for the time she puts in to the social media posts that you might see on Shreve Consulting, the LinkedIn page for the company, and for putting together a lot of the work on our on-demand websites, both in Canada, which is Teachable, and in the United States, which is Thinkific. And that's there's a lot of work that goes behind making an on-demand course available for sale. Besides, after it gets filmed and goes through post-production, just the work to get it on a learning platform like Thinkific and like Teachable is a lot. And she does so many different things, and very appreciative and thankful for working with her and having her as my administrative assistant. She does a lot. Amazing person. So Brittany, thank you. Next, I'd like to thank Frank Torchia, another individual who works in the instructional design space. So if you work in e-learning, webinars, even live courses. But of course, I'm thinking webinars and on demand, having amazing instructional designers, those that can create SCORM packages and work with Articulate and all these softwares that can help a program become more interactive, more engaging. It's just fantastic. And Frank, I've known for a number of years, and he's an awesome, amazing individual. He's a musician. His stuff with his band and the work that he does, just when he has spare time, and he creates a lot of time for it because he's organized to do things for his personal interests, which is something we should all do. So he has that, but he's also a fantastic person to work with. Very, very, very patient, which you have to be to work with me. Also creative and just really, really great to have been working with him over the past number of years. And again, we produced a number of courses this year. We have a 10-hour certificate course with CPA Ontario with called Risk Management and Ethical Perspective. That was a lot of work. 10 hours. It's really 6 hours of new content, but it was a lot of work just putting that together and getting it all to make sense as a program. Just like a movie, you have an idea, but it has to make sense to the audience. And Frank and Kimberly were awesome in that. There's the FTX story, generative artificial intelligence. These are all on demand and available as we approach the year end. And Frank and Kimberly have been instrumental in making these happen. So many thanks to them. And finally, but not least, of course, is Leonard Shen of UV Studios. I sing his praises all the time. Working in front of a camera, and right now I'm just working in front of a webcam, but working in front of a camera in a studio, it's a different experience altogether. When you are in front of a camera trying to record a course and get out a number of lines and add energy and emotion and facts and information and stay on time, it's very difficult. And I do have an acting background, but that doesn't make it any easier to be comfortable with the person recording you. Because if you're uncomfortable with the person, if you feel the person is judging you, because generally when you look in a film camera, you already feel that the camera is judging you. That's a psychological hurdle that a lot of us have to overcome. But then there's also the person who's recording. You have to be comfortable with them to really take chances and to play and to see what works and what doesn't work, and also to take criticism and for them to be honest with you about what you need to retake or redo, or if you didn't have enough energy, if you said something wrong, if you didn't enunciate, which sometimes happens to me after a few hours of shooting. And Leonard, um, besides just framing things beautifully, if you've seen any of our courses and doing a lot of the editing, if you take a look at the FTX story this year, or generative artificial intelligence, and the trailers that we posted on LinkedIn, which I think are amazing. We do these little movie trailers. I'm a big fan of trailers. I watch these movie trailers all the time. Sometimes they're better than the movies. I'll be honest with you. The trailers are just action packed. Now, I should say our trailers are not necessarily better than the course themselves, but they do a lot to give you a sense of what the course is about. And we've taken that idea to a lot of the courses that we offer with FTX. The FTX story, professional ethics, and FTX story has its own trailer. Generative artificial intelligence, what CPAs need to know. It has its own trailer, and Leonard has been the creative force behind that, from editing to music, and I think they're amazing. And so I'll put his information, UV Studios, and big part of filming in front of a camera with an idea of filming something for on demand or for whatever purposes is one, you have to practice being comfortable in front of a camera. That takes some time, but also it makes a big difference to be with someone behind the camera who you're just very comfortable with and you can laugh and take chances. And that's Leonard. So I want to thank all those individuals: Kimberly Fields, Brittany Dean, Frank Torcha, Leonard Shen. They make the informal part of my team at Sharif Consulting, and it's a lot of work as we approach the year end. It's still a busy time for me because guess what? CPAs love to rush to the end of the year. It's like, almost like going to a mall just before Christmas or before the time of gift giving. It's if you got to do it, you got to do it, but it's chaos and it's busy. And actually, a lot of CPAs do it this way. They look at their CPD or CPE in the US and say, you know what, I might be short here. Let me scramble and find out how I can make up some ethics hours. And again, no judgment here because I've been there myself, but it also makes for a busy end of the year for me. But that's what I've chosen to do. I actually really love what I do, and I'm grateful for that. when you think about career arcs, I didn't exactly see my career ending up in this space, which is education for CPAs and and for other professionals as well. And I've been very fortunate. It really marries my love of theater and acting and my knowledge that I built up over a number of years. And it's great. I mean, I'm really happy that I'm doing this for a living. I hope to keep doing it, and that's why I want to send my gratitude to the individuals internal to Sharif Consulting and also all the clients that I work with this year. Just tremendous number of individuals and organizations that have been very generous to me and been fantastic. 2020 Services in the U.S. is a fantastic company run by Jessica Sacchetti and Becky Riley and Josh. All everyone at 2020 has been amazing. We have on-demand courses with them, QAS self-study courses for US CPE purposes, and that's been a long initiative that just sort of taken flight this year, and we hope to grow that part over the next couple of years. And another part of this, of course, is the clients that I've worked with from all the Canadian provincial associations to CPA Canada. I know there's there's some friction, but I work with all of these organizations, and as a whole, they're fantastic. The people in there have been great, and I'm really appreciative of the contacts that I have within those organizations. And then all the clients that I work with individually, organizations that I've been working with in 2023 and even further back in time. So I want to thank you for your support of Sharif Consulting and working with you and hopefully work with you again in 2024. I should note that I am wearing my Raptors holiday jersey, or shirt, sweater, not jersey, sweater, that I wear, I think every year, maybe the last 2 or 3 years to close out my LinkedIn Live. Um, I'm mixed feelings about it. As you know, when I think back, we said reflections and gratitude. I'd also like to bring in some other parts. My interests in Toronto Raptors. It's a difficult time, I'd say, to show gratitude, but still, they do give me something to watch when I need to decompress. So it's been difficult, though. It's been a little difficult, but go Raptors, go. Let's see if you can turn it around. The season's still kind of young, kind of. And then just looking back at 2023, it's been just like for a lot of people, it has its ups and downs, and that's challenging. The ups can be really, really great, and you just sometimes don't see the valley that might come down. You might come down from, and so it's a tricky thing in life to go through those. And been many ups and some serious challenges for myself personally this year. And so to navigate those are always challenging, and for those out there feeling having those peaks and valleys, it's just trying to be as resilient as you can, and I try, but it's can be challenging. And had some health concerns in September, which I posted about in LinkedIn, and I got a lot of messages from LinkedIn and from people that I know with their concerns, and I thought that was really appreciative of that because I don't always use social media. LinkedIn is my main social media platform. I don't always use it personally in terms of being too vulnerable. Vulnerable enough for me and who I am, but that was a vulnerable post that I posted about my health, and I want to say many thanks to those that reached out to me because I'm doing much better, and I appreciate those that sent their well wishes. And just as I look at 2023, more on the ups, I want to keep this positive. It's a lot of traveling, back to traveling, which I thought I might not like so much, but the traveling was all right. I appreciated going to certain places. Went to a lot of places that were familiar to me, some that were not. But getting back on the road again was interesting, and getting back into those routines and meeting people live was nice. Again, seeing people in person more than I have in the last number of years. And really also when I look back at 2023, it's a year that I spent really digging deep into artificial intelligence as a subject matter area that I'll spend more time in, and that's been fun. It's been challenging, but I think it's been well received for the most part by those that have been following me on LinkedIn and other places. So I've been excited for that. And also just some of the volunteer work I've done. I want to say thank you. I do volunteer work for CPA Canada and their financial literacy program, which is a great program to raise awareness for financial literacy, and been volunteering for a number of years. And the individuals at CPA Canada are fantastic to really, give back. And as CPAs, I think we always want to give back and do something helpful for the community. And that for me is personally personally rewarding since my parents struggled financially coming from Sri Lanka to Canada. So anything I can do back to give back, sort of with the knowledge I've accumulated and the materials the CPA Canada produces for that program is wonderful. Always gives me a warm fuzzy feeling to do that work. And then the other part of my volunteer work is working with the Fringe Festival of Toronto, an amazing theater production company that runs the Fringe Festival. And just Google Fringe Festival of Toronto, and it's known for many, many things, part of the vibrant arts community in Toronto, and it's vibrant, diverse. The board is amazing. The management team is amazing. Got to work and meet a lot of great people, and it's actually an interesting way for me to come full circle as someone who used to act and work in the theater space and come back and work in that space, but in a different capacity, use my CPA, but also my love of theater and love of the arts and actors to and writers and directors and all the people working the stage to give back. And it's a wonderful organization. And I encourage you to attend the Fringe and Next Stage in 2024. Fantastic artists that and individuals who might not get a chance to give their voice on a stage. That's really about what the Fringe Festival is about, is giving an opportunity for anybody who enters a lottery to actually have a full scale production of a theater play. And it gives a lot of emerging artists and people who wouldn't necessarily have a voice, because it's difficult to just crack into a theater scene as big as Toronto. And it's really a great opportunity for those to do that. So many thanks to all those that make the Fringe Festival possible, and it's been great volunteering for that. So yeah, I wanted to say with many thanks and gratitude all the high notes of 2023, and there are peaks and valleys during the year, and one of the things we know from research is you got to deal with those peaks, and then or sorry, peaks valleys. You got to deal with the valleys, of course, and but you don't want to minimize the peaks and all the wonderful things that go on, even if they're not as frequent as the other parts. It depends on what's happened in 2023, but try to give gratitude where you can. I think is a good way to maybe close out 2023. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. For all those that have been watching LinkedIn Live with me, I really appreciate it. I know I get a lot of comments that people watch. Sometimes people don't always put reactions out there, and I don't always put reactions to LinkedIn posts that I read that I think, wow, that's really amazing. Um, but it's also nice to know that people might be watching and think it's useful or interesting. And I get a lot of, not a lot, but I get a fair amount of comments that people watch this and they find it for what I do to be helpful. So that's always great to hear. So with that, I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, happy new year. And I'll be doing this in 2024. Try to do it at the same time, Tuesdays at 9. We'll see how it goes and see if we change it up. But most likely, I think we found a consistent spot for this going into 2024. And there'll be things that I will keep coming back to: artificial intelligence, CPA profession. There'll be other topics that will have come up as well. I was toying around with having some guests on the LinkedIn Live program, and we'll see how that goes in 2024. I have to have some people say yes to that. So let me know if you want to be a guest here. Just send me a message. We can set up an interview about your subject matter expertise. And something I do actually interview others with who have subject matter expertise, like Janelle Ambrose on privacy, Dr. Leanne Keddy on environmental social governance and sustainability accounting, Liz Luck, who works in leadership and motivation. So feel free to do that. Anyway, I don't want to go on. I tend not to end succinctly, tend to drone on a bit. But thanks everyone for watching. Have a happy new year and see you in 2024. Take care.